Hello! It's me again, and welcome back to my channel. It's been a while, but here we are again. We are back with some pickups. I've been to Reading 2 separate times, and I've picked up a few things. Not a lot, but hey.
Let's see what we got, right?
So, we're going to start with the DVDs first, and we'll start with the only one of the two movies that I picked up, and that is Cabin in the Woods. Now, funnily enough, I actually know what happens at the end of this film already, which is kind of the thing that drove me to buy it, which in itself is quite weird, because you don't really buy a film on the basis of knowing what the end is. But I did it anyway. I kind of always wanted to see the movie and kind of wondered, how did they get to that end point? So yeah, just add it on. My list of films that I need to watch is piling up now, so I need to get on and do that. I didn't actually pick this up from one of my Reading trips. I actually picked it up on the way back from a Reading trip, just because they didn't have it in CEX, but they had it in my Morrison's that I live next to, so that was all good. And that is Zack Snyder's Justice League. Now, I've watched this. I've watched the original Justice League like everyone has. It had a lot, of issues, let's be honest. It was a rough movie. Nobody really liked it that much. There were some aspects of it that were cool, like Superman turning up at the end kind of stuff, but not really anything great. But when you look at this and you think, well, this goes on for 3 hours, 52 minutes. Yeah, a long time in comparison to the other ones. So, and introducing stuff like Darkseid in that, it's going to be really cool, and I really look forward to watching it. But then again, it's one of those movies where it's hard to commit, nearly 4 hours of your time to watch it, especially when you're not in a cinema. But we will watch it. We will hopefully enjoy it. Moving on to a sad one. My last DVD that I picked up. It's been a long road, but I finally have now owned and watched Supernatural Season 15, the final season. And let me tell you, it was tough to watch. I actually found out from my twin brother that this was out, because I didn't actually know. So, and because I hadn't watched 14 yet, I watched 14 all the way through within a couple of days. And it was, it actually reignited my fire back for the series, because I kind of felt that it'd been such a long time since I watched the 13th season that I thought, it's, normally back in the day, in the earlier seasons, like every time a new season would come out, I would go back and watch Supernatural from the beginning. But this time, over the last 4 or 5 seasons, I've chosen not to do that. And so moving on to this, it was cool, but just ending it was it was so bad, and I really didn't want it to be over. I just didn't want it. But let's be honest here, people. It had to come to an end. It's sad, but at the same time, you look at just where the show's gone. They can't do much more to it than they already have done. It's gone on for 15 years. So many shows can only dream of going on that for that long. So, what can you do, eh? But no, if you haven't seen it yet, make sure you check it out. Yeah, Supernatural is kind of what really got me into TV box set collecting, just because I was so into it, and then as you keep watching it, and it was so many other things, just going to open the door for me to collecting box sets. So thank you, Supernatural. Right, so moving on to the game pickups. Now, the first one is a Dreamcast game. Obviously, you now know I have a Dreamcast, so I wanted to pick some up, and ironically, they had one there. It was only £5, which was pretty decent in Reading. So I picked up Virtua Tennis on the Dreamcast. So, I normally don't like sports games, and that's true, but tennis games I love. I really do love tennis. I don't really watch it that much, when it's on TV and Wimbledon and stuff like that, but I do love playing it. And actually playing this is going to be really exciting. I love Sega Superstars Tennis. I know that's really different in comparison to Virtua Tennis, because this is obviously quite different. And obviously I played Wii Tennis, which again, very different. So just to play this is going to be cool. When I went to Swindon, Pete did have Virtua Tennis 2, but again, like, you know, I'm not picking up sequels for games just yet. Like I've said, you know, I'm trying to cut back on those. But yeah, really happy to pick this up, and it was really cheap too, in really nice condition. Big, thick manual, really good. Really happy with it. Next, we have a couple of DS games, which, again, yeah, you know, I don't own a DS yet, but like I've done with every other console that I've been picking up since I started my retro journey, you know, I've managed to just buy the games, and, you know, eventually I get the console. So the first one I got, no, this is the second one I got, actually, was Star Wars The Clone Wars Jedi Alliance. So this is actually really good. It's got really great reviews. I've looked at the gameplay. It looks really good. There are quite a few other Clone Wars games out there in this kind of setting based on the animated series, but this one I think is the best one, just by reviews, etc. But like, for me, this is definitely one that I'm, you know, happy with. Like, I looked at the gameplay and stuff for the other ones, and I wasn't a big fan of it. I don't think it was that good, so I'm definitely going to play this one. And yeah, really happy to own it. And yeah, I really enjoy just picking up games for consoles that I haven't played yet, and I can't wait to play them. It's going to be so great. And then the next one, which is classed as, I guess, as a classic on the DS, and that is Sonic Rush. Apparently on the front it says best Sonic game ever. Well, I think that's down as a matter of opinion, because so many people are going to ignore that and be like Sonic 2 or Sonic 3. Let's be honest. But again, can't be happier, you know, being able to pick these up. I'm going to get a DS soon. That's kind of the next console on my list, because I guess really with the Saturn now taking a back seat, I don't really intend to buy that anytime soon. You know, and I think the Saturn is just one that I'm just going to leave until I've really got like a meaty amount of games that I want to get. But yeah, Sonic Rush on the DS, really happy to own that. Now comes on to the best, and I mean the favourite game that I picked up in that whole journey. And that, my friends, was Pro Evolution Soccer 2008. I'm just kidding. In fact, I only bought this for the case, which I've now swapped. So this has got the rubbish case, as you can see. I don't know if you can see the marks and stuff on the shine. But yes, bad case, because I had to make room and use the case in order to give a better case to this Pokemon Pokepark Wiki Pikachus Adventure. Silky smooth case. But anyway, you play as Pikachu and you go on an adventure. Great game. I've looked at gameplay for it. It looks really enjoyable. You know, if you are a hardcore Pokemon fan, like most of us are, it's definitely a game to pick up. It was £20, which is actually quite surprising. But then I barely heard of this game, and I know there's a second one as well. They're not classed as like obviously the most amazing Pokemon games, but they are. I think it's like 7.5 or so out of 10, so not bad at all. But yeah, like I love anything. Just watching the actual gameplay and just watching you roam around as Pikachu and coming across different Pokemon and different scenarios, and there's like mini games and there's stuff like that. It's just an overall really great experience, and I definitely recommend picking up Pokepark Wii Pikachu's Adventure. Last two games now, we have got Splinter Cell Conviction on the 360. Now I want to thank my brother Tom for my twin brother for recommending this to me. I've not really been a big Splinter Cell fan. Like, I know the third one, Chaos Theory, is classed as one of the best ones, but I never really got into them much. Like, I remember buying Splinter Cell. I think I have bought it since I started my retro journey, but I got rid of it because once the Splinter Cell games, for some reason, obviously they were like 50p a pound, and then the price shot up. So I kind of traded mine in when the price was at a high point for some reason. But no, he recommends this and Blacklist, which is the next game afterwards. Both really cheap games, but again, play this one first and then pick up the sequel, Sam. You know what to do. So, really excited to play this. You know, he's talked a lot about the gameplay and the mechanics and all that other stuff, and you know, normally when my brother recommends me something, you know, he's not wrong. So thank you, Tom. I really look forward to playing this. And the last game that I picked up was a game that I've been after for a while now, and that is Remnant from the Ashes on PS4. So this is been classed as Dark Souls with guns, which, again, looking at the gameplay and everything, it looks a really great game, great mechanics, definitely my kind of game that I'm going to play. But yeah, I mean, I think, you know, again, I know I haven't played a Dark Souls game yet, or a Souls game, or the Bloodborne, whatever series you want to call it. But yeah, I mean, I think overall that it is a very great looking game. You know, I think the shooting mechanic makes it so different and so unique, and that's the kind of thing I look for in games like this. You know, games that aren't like along the mainstream of games, even though it's a Souls-like game. But anyway, yeah, just really happy with this. As my PS4 collection increases, let's put this down for a second. As my PS4 collection increases, I do and like Xbox One and stuff like that, I do kind of ask myself, do I really care as much about the retro as I do about the modern stuff? Just because there's so many PS4 games that I want to play, so many big hitting games like Horizon Zero Dawn, Control, Ghost of Tsushima. It's all these games that have such big impact, and it's like, obviously I'm allowing myself to play the retro, and I do care about the retro. But sometimes it does make me think, you know, what I want to do with it. And I'll tell you what, another thing that I was thinking about that was because when I thought about how much, when I started looking at the Pokemon versions and how much they're worth now, like, because every Pokemon version is close to like £100 now. Like the Gen 1s are all plus £100 plus for sale in CEX anyway. You know, Gen 2 is as well, near enough. Same with Gen 3, and obviously Emerald's a big hitter as well. Even though, yes, that's part of Gen 3, but I mean, you know, like the not the kind of one or the other kind of game. But yeah, you look at it and you just go, well, how much they're worth, and like how much modern stuff you could get with that money, or with that like trade-in. So looking at PS5s, like obviously they're hard to come by. You know, there are scammers all over Facebook Marketplace that are trying to sell them. You know, and the thing is, you just look at the post and you think, well, people are saying, oh, like delivery only, you know, no pickup, and it's like,
how stupid do you think we are?
That we're just going to go, oh, you just want to deliver it, but we want to see it working. Haha, joke's on you. So I was thinking about it, and obviously, you know, CEX stores do have PS5s. Like when I went to Swindon, there was 4 PS5s available. I think there were 5 actually. I think there were 5 PS5s, yeah. And then in Reading, there were 6. Now my brother's picked up one fairly recently, and he's bought one recently. And like for me personally, like I added up like all the Pokemon versions that I have, their trade-in, my Game Boy Color and my Game Boy Advance boxed, my copy of Gale of Darkness, and I think there was like 1 or 2 other games I added to that, and that goes for like nearly £1,100 of trade. Now, when I think about the £1,100 of trade, I could get a PS5, I could get every game that I want for it right now, like Spider-Man Miles Morales, Returnal, The Pathless, other things. But, you know, yeah, that's the point. You know, it's like, I could do that. If I just traded them all in, I mean, obviously granted permitted their standards of condition and stuff permitting, I could get one. But at the same time, am I really rushing to get a PS4? And the answer is no. PS5, and the answer is no. But anyway, that's completely irrelevant. We'll come back to that at a later date. But anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed these pickups. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to say, really. Got new content coming soon. I will be posting on Instagram for a Q&As, because I want to do a Q&A video answering your questions, my viewers and my followers' questions. I want you to present me with questions, whether it's gaming or just to get to know me a bit more. But anyway, guys, hit that like button, subscribe down below with notifications turned on for my latest videos. Thank you very much for watching and subscribing. Enjoy the rest of your day, whatever it is you're doing. And as always, guys, take care of yourselves.